we've had this type of ending maybe like twice, where it was like a hopeful, we're about to leave and go on this grand adventure expedition feeling.
Man, Hans, what a great use of his character.
I know. I love that he was like the example of what the military was like before
Garrison.
Yeah, well, I'm just using military as the broad term of all of them, other than the scouts. What they were like before the Colossal Titan and Armor Titan showed, like, when they showed up. Like, obviously, their only job for their tax money was probably little petty fights and things like that. Just normal kind of keeping the peace around the neighborhood job.
Well, he had a great line where he described that as false peace. That's how Eren would describe it.
He said Eren would have said it as false
And I
peace,
think that that's such a great line of dialogue to have in there. Because, one, you completely understand and agree with him that that's what Eren would say, right? But it's like, was it a false peace to these people? Like, I know Eren is Eren. He has in this world these bigger dreams and aspirations and desires of wanting to defeat the Titans. But if someone was able to live out their entire life without having any family or anyone close to them die, and you live out your life as a drunk member of the garrison and you have your friends and families, is that even a false peace? Because I don't...
Like, think about it. Before the Colossal Titan and Armor Titan showed, like, whenever they showed their faces and knocked down the walls, before that, the Titans were never strong enough to break through the walls. So really, the only people at risk were the scouts and the families of the scouts from, like, losing them and the heartbreak.
Like, I agree with the sentiment that Eren follows of, yes, you should be able to have the whole world without, like, and all that area without risk of dying from these Titans. But if this is all you've ever known, and you live your whole life without any type of tragedy in that sense, then I'm sure to some people they've lived a great peaceful life, you know?
Right.
And I cannot believe, I am astounded again and again by the writing in the show, not only because, like, the lore in the world's amazing, the initial character, like, dialogue and, like, the main conglomerate of characters is fantastic, but I didn't expect it. I feel like prior to this episode, if somebody told me that Hans was going to be put back into the story, I would say it would be forced or weird. And this feels so right. Without you three together again, I can't bring back the good old days. That feels so good, man. It's so well done.
It's nice to they keep him in the same way, even if he's more in the action now compared to what he was in season 1. They keep him in that same role that he was in season 1. He ran back and he grabbed Eren and Mikasa and he ran with them. He saved them. He saved Eren from chasing after the bully that was the Titan killing his mom. Because if Hans hadn't shown up, I don't know how Mikasa would have stopped Eren from running at that Titan at that time. And it's so cool to have him in that same role that I can't quite describe what it is. It's not like a father role, but it's definitely more familial, like an uncle. Like, he's family to them. He's seen them grow up. He knows their quirks. He knows how they act. He knows how they feel and how they think. He knows their dynamic. And
I love it.
And he wants to go with them to chase after Eren because, as he said, it was either me or Mikasa that saved Eren all those times.
Oh, yeah, like, the actual line he used was so good.
I wrote down one of his lines. I don't know if it's the same one that you're referencing.
Which one did you get?
I wrote down, I mean, it's like, I kind of chopped it up a little bit into a summary of what he said because it was a couple lines. He's never seen him win, but he's never seen Eren give up.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the line when he's talking about, like, every time, like, he'd wait until I or you show up.
He'll give him hell no matter who he's up against. No matter how many times he gets knocked over. He'll keep resisting as long as he has strength. Even more so.
Aaron's always been. No, I think I already passed it. While we keep discussing, I'll try to find it. But man, I just props to the writing. I really like the character of Hans. You know, I have since like early episodes where just you feel how human.
It was very realistic too.
Yeah, like he was human. Like, no, I'm going to. Don't worry, Aaron's mom and Aaron and Mikasa. I got this Titan, but he's never really seen the action and like that. You like it was a very anime moment of him being like, no, I got this, and he was going to fight and win, but then he sees it, and in the face of that like terror, he turns away and saves Aaron and Mikasa and leaves Aaron's mom. But like I've loved him through that, like from very early on, and now it's like by the time Mikasa or Soldier showed up, he'd beaten into a pulp every time. But you know, I've never seen him win a fight before. Sometimes he's so tenacious that I think it's scary. You think he'll get taken away without putting up a fight. Even more when he's up against two. Until you or I show up to help. That's how Aaron's always been. Like, he will last as long as it takes.
Until someone else shows up.
Yeah.
I am beyond thrilled that what I was hoping would happen from the start of this episode is what happened. Because, like, that's what I saw in my head as being, like, a satisfying thing to have happen and to change things up a little bit, because I saw what could happen with Aaron's death of a few hours. What that could do to the story and do to the characters, and I saw that and I was like, holy shit, like, there are amazing side characters in this show that would totally have, like, be able to become more in the spotlight, even stronger, even better, all with that desire to chase after Aaron or save him or be as strong as he is, whether it's physical and or just mentally determination, to be able to bring that hope that and that safety and that peace that Aaron has always been saying to everyone that he wants, that he's going to defeat all Titans. And Aaron is a great device to the rest. I always use that word, device, but that he is to the other characters in terms of their own resolve and their own kind of willpower to also want that peace and fight for it.
Mid-roll, field rations. An extremely nutritious ration utilized by the Scout Regiment. High-calorie crackers and canned food are staple rations which can quickly provide soldiers with the necessary energy for their operations without the need for fire. Good. The flavor has been refined so that it doesn't taste that bad. So
that's funny. The flavor hasn't been refined so that it tastes good, just so it doesn't taste as bad.
So it reminds me of something, though, because high-calorie crackers and canned food, right? Mm-hmm. We saw canned food a couple episodes ago in the form of herring.
Yeah,
right? So
that's my immediate thought when you read the line canned food.
Yeah, so during this episode, I was like, I wonder if they still have that herring. And then it reminded me, like, I don't know when it was. Easter, maybe? I don't know. It wasn't Easter. Sometime recently, my family came over for a gathering of family. And
as families
do. And I was just off the cuff talking to my grandfather, who was Scottish, and like he was a merchant marine, and he was on a ship like his whole life. He traveled like all these different countries, and I was like kind of trying to explain to him some stuff about anime, which whatever. That's
I wish I had been there.
He was very not getting what I was saying, but I mentioned the can of herring, and he said that that's like
that's a
seafood.
Red herring?
He said no, like that correlates with water. And like that's like a canned like fish, right? That you get around water. So I'm like, how old was that can? Is it important that it was herring? And where the fuck would there be water? Like do
they have seafood? Do they?
No. They
might have like, well, they have lakes, so they might have like lake fish or something like that.
That's true. I thought I should have asked more about it because I feel like then I could get like...
But isn't a herring like a sea fish? I don't know. I don't know enough about fish, but I have a feeling that a herring is located in the sea.
Yeah, but if that is something to think about though, and remember how like crazy I was about the thought of there being canned food with writing on it that they didn't understand? Mm-hmm. It's either it's old or it's from outside the wall where their home is, right? Well, granted, it was Ymir who could read it. That being said, though, it was a society who had progressed enough to can fish and herring, and if they don't have that utilization of fish and stuff within the walls, which I would assume they don't because it was in a different language, mm-hmm. then that lends credence to the belief that there is a society outside the walls.
And if we're already hearing that Hanji even said that they might be going outside of Wall Maria, where that hometown was, mm-hmm. that would be another... At least it existed maybe, before the first attack? That hometown might have existed before that. Well, and it might have been able to can fish.
But... why is it in a castle within our area? Because
they said it seemed like someone had been there recently.
And that could just be because there was stuff there and it was old or whatever, and it could be a while ago. But if there was someone there recently, maybe Orangutan was like camping out there because he was around the area. Mm. Maybe someone else was, but that's weird.
What if it was either Ymir, Annie, Reiner, or Berthold?
We've known where they all are recently, though, I feel like.
By recently, how recent?
Oh, that could be where, like, Reiner and Berthold might have been staying.
If it's a very, very old castle, recent could have been 5 years ago.
Yeah, like in between the gaps of 845 and 850.
Yeah.
That's
true. What if when they first arrived, that's where they, like, camped out?
Presumably, they couldn't read that language, though, right? And only Ymir could. From what we know, at least.
I mean, I took from Reiner's expression that he also could read it.
I took it... I'm looking at letters that I don't understand. How can you understand it?
It could be either of those. You're so right.
Could. Am I stupid to...
No. Maybe.
Debatable.
Let me let you finish your thought.
Am I stupid to get a rising sense of hopefulness that next episode we might get exposition or story time from Reiner and Berthold because they're sitting on trees, yes. They're having to wait until sundown, and unless it's another fight happening right now, which they look pretty messed up, I feel like there's a possibility I might be getting something next episode.
I completely agree. I mean, think of it, like, Where do people tell stories? At nighttime by a campfire. Obviously, they don't have a campfire here. They're in giant trees to stay away from Titans. But it does give the impression that they're sitting and they're waiting for a long period of time because obviously we're guessing that Berthold and Reiner need to regain their strength to continue their mission and continue their run to wherever
I think they're waiting
was.
Until it's night so they can continue to move. Like, they're not going to... I don't think they're trying to stay there overnight, because then they're kind of screwed. Like, right. They need to be able to move when Titans can't move.
Possible, yeah.
We have until night.
Well, maybe until night, or until... Yeah, until night, Berthold and Reiner will just be...
Sitting there.
Aaron's probably going to have questions.
And Ymir's awake. Crazy.
Does Ymir have any idea of what's going on? That's my question.
I hope that we'll figure it out, dude.
She seems like just kind of like she's chilling on the tree at the end, waiting for her limbs to grow back, or maybe just waiting for Aaron to wake up. Maybe they already explained something to her while Aaron was still unconscious.
I wonder how much, because it, again, seemed like a genuine surprise to Reiner that Ymir as a Titan resembled the Titan that killed his friend and tried to kill him. So I think that a couple episodes ago we said, like, there are a third and a fourth party, like, there's different, like, factions or whatever. I don't think there's much of a relation, or as much of a relation, between Ymir and Reiner and Berthold. that could be easily assumed, you know?
Okay, so then here's a question. Why take Ymir? Memory of the fact that she resembles the Titan that ate their friend, or because it's another person that can turn into a Titan?
Both, maybe.
Okay.
If they took her, then they could not... Remember when we thought Ymir was dead in episode of Historia, whatever episode that was, 2x5, I think? We thought one of the things was, we're going to be able to examine...
Ymir's body?
Yeah, Ymir's body. Like, that's not a
thought
possibility anymore because Ymir is taken away. Like, it could be either of those.
I have a question now about... Okay, so what would happen to a sample? If you took a sample of Eren or Ymir, what happens to that sample? Does it kind of steam away and die in the same form of Titan bodies do?
It might.
Because obviously they could have quickly cut a sample pretty easy from Ymir before this having happened.
I don't think they'd do that since she was alive.
Well, I don't mean like cut. You could just kind of like scrape the skin even.
That's...
To get skin cells.
I feel like that's like advanced technology though.
Oh.
Hanji has a microscope, but I don't know like how with it she is, you know.
Maybe
She's
that's
not, like,
all she
Abby
has
from
is a
NCIS.
microscope and that's
like,
it.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I'm hopeful that we're gonna get some like story next episode, like regarding like backstory. I mean, like, but it feels too good to be true though, so it's difficult.
Okay, I have another question. Do you think... So we got that kind of exchange with Hans saying Eren would put up a fight. In this current situation that Eren is in this forest, in the top of the trees, with how many questions he probably has in his head, do you think he will immediately start to fight, or do you think he's going to try to feel it out, maybe get some questions answered, and then once his limbs grow back and they try to take him somewhere else, then fight?
I think Eren's gonna try to bite his hand and realize he doesn't have one. And then possibly bite his tongue like Olio did on the horse to try to Olo did on his horse to try to do self-inflicted injury so it could transform. Won't be able to, be forced into having a conversation. I would love for him to be like, all right, gauging my surroundings.
I know.
Gonna play it cool.
That's like maybe what Armin would do.
Yeah. But I could just be totally underestimating Eren. Like, because he has come far. We saw him in Titan form.
Right.
Like,
for me, can we go back to the end to see kind of who's going on this mission?
Yeah.
I want to see, like, who's on the wall already, where, like, Krista's in the shot. Historia, sorry. And then there's people from the military police and Erwin and them coming. Okay, so Jean's there. Cool. Erwin's
Historia,
there.
Connie, Mikasa, Hans, Armin.
No Sasha?
Maybe just not in that shot.
It seems like Sasha's been used as a
courier?
Courier? Is that what it is?
Like a messenger?
A messenger? I mean, I could see Sasha being a great messenger. Obviously, she's gotten 2 messages to the places they needed to go pretty fast, so maybe that's like her job as a go-between.
So who made it? Who came? Who came on the journey?
Okay, so
they're here.
We're showcasing Connie with Armin, Mikasa,
I'm assuming Hanji isn't
Historia.
coming because
Hanji's gonna want to.
She can't even get up.
Military police we basically just see Erwin and Jean, but do we see Levi riding shotgun somewhere?
I'm assuming has a sprained/broken ankle because it's only been a couple days, I think, since. I know.
But when Mikasa brought up how she fought with Levi to save Eren that first time, I was like, Mikasa needs to like be on Levi's future squad.
Agreed.
And they need to be a duo.
I just don't think I don't think sensu beans exist in this world. I think that Levi's going to be like taken out of the game for a bit. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to fight.
Which is a major bummer for me because it's a major bummer for them. I feel like they need Levi.
Man, I would love to like try to dissect this map more, but I don't think there's anything here. We just see mountain ranges, like villages.
This is inside the walls. It's not like a outside the walls map that would be maybe more interesting to us.
Yeah, I'm wondering if right here where I'm like hovering over is the Utgard Castle. You know,
Would that be in this area?
I think so, because
No, it'd be on the other side.
well, they're coming from interior, right? So this is the fence, the wall that they just
Oh,
brought
that
on.
is the... Okay, sorry. I
would
was
think
like...
so, at least.
I was not thinking of those as lines as walls.
Well, I'm assuming.
No, you're totally right that those are the walls. I don't know what I thought they were.
But that could be a guard castle. I don't know.
That might be like where they are right now, because look, it's like it would be a straight shot to that forest, and the armor titan was running like that. You can't see me, or maybe you can. I'm going like this, like that.
I think that's all I have this episode.
I just gotta say, putting the horses and the little lips up the wall is like one of the funniest things.
You know what though? Like I never even thought about the logistics of having to transport horses over walls to be able to go on and explore that without a gate. And I kind of love it.
Were you surprised by how Armin just was spitting straight facts and Mikasa was like, yeah, I understand, you're right, we couldn't have.
It's the difference. I don't know. It's like Armin has a way with words to lay out what the situation is and why they can't do what they necessarily emotionally want to do. But Mikasa has the ability to understand that and not just blindly...
Right. And I think Mikasa understands that Armin has the same emotions that she does.
Yeah. Agreed.
And that he may want to do the same thing she wants to do, but he knows the pros and the cons.
Connie's having a hard time understanding Reiner and Bertholdt are their enemies.
I wonder if we're going to see any sign that Connie has thought back to Reiner's actions in Connie's hometown. In terms of, like, hearing the Titan speak.
I could see that.
I feel like that, if I were Connie, that would be one of my first thoughts, is going back to my immediate memories of that person, and if I saw any signs that they were suspicious, or
I wonder if Connie's going
like
to tell that to Erwin, or, like, people who have just arrived, the whole interaction. You know?
Yeah.
And his mom being a Titan.
I mean, we don't really have a chance for any, like, conversations, really, except if, like, they're yelling from horse to horse.
Yeah.
I gotta say, those bullies were quite horrible, because if you think about it, they weren't just, like, stealing a piece of bread. They were stealing the literal weekly rations for Armin's family.
Yeah.
Like, that's really messed up. I'm not, like, a fighter, and I've never fought anyone, but
AutoSave boxing event.
Oh, God. I would lose immediately. I might have a good pain tolerance. I don't know.
2v1 on Cicero and Noah.
I would beat Noah.
Man, I hope these bullies.
Where are they now? Let's have a where are they now moment.
Titan cat hair.
They might have died.
I hope so. Nah, they're kids. It's whatever. It's interesting the military police are here though. Oh, there's fish like in this market.
Okay, but it's like I said, river fish,
yeah.
lake fish, but there are different fish in a sea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing so much knowledge right now.
We're so knowledgeable. Okay, that's all I have.
I'm gonna like immediately look up if a herring is a sea fish.
No.
Is that a spoiler to know where a herring is located?
If we see my grandfather, we can ask him again. I don't want to Google it. I don't know. I feel weird Googling stuff. I don't like Googling stuff.
We try to not look up. We didn't even want to look up how many episodes were in this season.
No, I'm not looking up. I'm not typing the word A into Google because I'm scared of what's going to come up. Like, I'm... All right.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I'm just, my closing thoughts is I am happy that what I wanted to happen came true. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen after that, but I think it's just, I can sum it up with, there are a lot of side characters in this show that I really, really enjoy and that I really want to see more of.
Shout out Hans.
Shout out Hans!
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. It feels too good to be true, though. It feels too good to be true, though. It feels too good to be true.
It feels too good to be true.